Hello, my name is Cameron Roberts-Capak and I will be talking about cultivating blue crabs, or Callinectes sapidus. Briefly going over the life history, blue crabs are sexually dimorphic. As you can see, the males have a narrow abdomen compared to the females more broad. Females also have red-tipped claws. They are found in a variety of habitats, from marshes, subtidal seagrass beds, and soft sediment shorelines. They are opportunistic predators, where they are cannibals. They eat other crabs, shrimp, fish, clams, mussels, worms, aquatic plants, detritus matter, Castorby 2004. They have a very wide range where they can be found, from Nova Scotia through the Gulf of Mexico to as far as Uruguay. Their spawning season does depend on the location, but it typically is through May through October, and they are very strong swimmers as their fifth pair of legs are shaped as paddles. National Wildlife Federation. Why should we farm Callinectes sapidus? Well, they are very important in the ecosystem. They hold high economic value in the seafood industry. They are popular in recreational crabbing. Their populations are recently vastly declining, and they could be used in conservation efforts. What is their importance to the ecosystem? Blue crab larvae, juvenile and adults, are a major food source to the food web. Adults and juveniles are often fed on by fish like striped bass or red drum, birds, and other blue crabs. They are top consumers of benthic organisms such as clams, oysters, small crustaceans, and detritus matter. They also regulate the periwinkle populations by feeding on them because they do feed on salt marsh grasses. Chesapeake Bay Foundation 2008. The case study ranking ecosystem impacts on Chesapeake Bay blue crab using empirical Gaussian graphical models. They mention that an ecosystem approach is needed to manage blue crabs in the Chesapeake Bay. They use network models which offer potential to understand the abiotic and biotic impacts on species. For methods, independent variables included looking at climatic variables such as North Atlantic oscillation, water quality with temperature, hypoxic volume, salinity, and biotic factors like vegetation and predator striped bass. They found that age, year and up crabs were the only variable with a direct effect on recruitment, indicating that a stronger adult population is associated with stronger recruitment. Lower summer salinity levels was associated with lower recruitment, and higher summer hypoxic levels were associated with lower adult crab abundance. Recruitment was consistently larger when the spawning stock size was above average. Higher predator abundances were associated with higher recruitment variability. To conclude, ecosystem considerations do influence the level of recruitment in blue crab in the Chesapeake Bay. Moving towards ecosystem-based fisheries management requires a combination of biotic and abiotic factors into our understanding of population dynamics. Miller et al. 2019. Some of the issues concerning Callinectes sapidus include less food and habitat. Low oxygen dead zones affect growth of clam worms and other species that blue crabs feed on. Sediment and excess nutrients from runoff can kill off seagrass that is vital for juvenile crabs. Due to low populations, strict harvesting regulations have in place, making it tough on commercial crabbers. Pelton and Goldsboro 2008. Poor water quality and temperature shifts can affect the life cycle and survival rates, and more sporadic storms can cause a collapse in essential habitats. 1/5 of the population declined in 2018 for the second year in the Chesapeake Bay estuary. Green 2020. We should work to conserve blue crabs because we need to increase species population, improve ecosystem health, and this is also important to the crabbing industry. Green 2020. In the case study, expansion of the soft crab fishery in Mississippi using cultured blue crabs. They used blue crabs that were hatchery reared. The larvae was placed into raceways, then stocked as juveniles into non-vegetated ponds. Bush lines were placed into the pond to provide shelter for pre-molting and molting crabs. They were collected from the bush lines and harvested with soft shells before they could form a hard shell. To conclude, they found the largest challenge was to survival due to cannibalism. To future combat this, they suggested lowering the stock density. Soft shell production could be an economically viable enterprise and would provide a measure of conservation. There is a potential for cultivating soft shell since they currently are importing them into the U.S. They are commonly consumed as an appetizer or cocktail, and the demand is exceeding supply. Perry, 2011. In Dr. Eggleston's blue crab cultivating experiment in Swansboro, North Carolina, he started with 30,000 juvenile blue crabs and placed them into a 10-acre farm irrigation pond with a salinity of 3 parts per thousand. In just 2 months, crabs saw a rapid growth from quarter-inch juveniles to 6-inch adults. He ended in about 6,000 mature adults that were then harvested for about $18,000. To conclude, if the rapid growth rate can be maintained for more than one season, there could be a 2 to 3 crop per year potential for farmers. This small experiment suggests a strong economical potential for the farming of blue crabs. Donnelly, 2009. In conclusion, Callinectes sapidus is key to ecosystems, the seafood industry, and recreational and commercial crabbing. Previous studies provide potential. Cultivating would aid in stabilizing declining populations, increase conservation efforts, alleviate the strict regulations to harvesters, and provide economic value. I have included my references and photo citations. Thank you.